from the top of the dormant volcano here in Maui today. Going to be hiking the Sliding Sands Trail. There's an official name for it. I'm not going to butcher it for the sake of the language, but yeah, this is going to be a really fun hike. So this hike can be as long as you want it to be. Essentially, it's like a 17-mile of trails in the crater itself. On the way in, you're going to be hiking down, and then on the way out, you're going to be hiking up. We're going to be shooting for somewhere in the 12-ish mile range today. This is in the national park here in Maui, and is definitely a popular hike. The trail starts here, not at the summit, but definitely worth checking that out. And there is a large parking area, some bathrooms. There is no gas or anything up here, or food, so pack accordingly. This hike, we got really lucky with the weather. It can be super cloudy up here, super windy and rainy, so just kind of try to plan accordingly if you do want the views. We're above the clouds right now. As we drove in, you could kind of see down into the beaches and islands and perimeter and things like that, which was really, really beautiful. Pretty much right off the bat, this is the old crater, and boy is it impressive. So you can see the trail kind of works its way down and over, and then eventually deeper down into the Sliding Sands Trail here. But it is just really, really pretty up here, and excited to get down and see it up close. Jackie, of course, always the one to correct me on things. This is actually not a crater, it's just an erosion area. So it's sand and wind and lava has eroded this. There wasn't actually a blowhole on the summit of the volcano here. More you know. While we're working our way down here, let's talk about gear for this hike. For all the virtual Sherpa gear, you can check the links in the description below to help support the channel. In terms of gear, you're going to need some water, food, hiking shoes, but probably just regular shoes will be fine. Don't need hiking boots by any means unless it's super muddy. And you're going to need some layers too. So unlike the bottom of the island, which is hot as hell, super humid, it's much colder up here. When we left the hotel, it was like 80-ish degrees, and it was about 40 up here. My producer Jackie also wants you to know that it rains here a lot more than down low as well. So you know, a raincoat perhaps, especially if it's colder, will be good. And yeah, outside of that, sun protection, because on a day like today when you're at about 10,000 feet, you're just getting blasted by the sun because you're close to the equator and you're high up, so the UVs are going to be super, super strong up here. Describe the Sliding Sands Trail here as you feel like you're on Mars, which I think is a little crazy because we've actually never been to Mars, but I get what the gist of it is. For me, it takes me back to Mount Kilimanjaro, like day 2 or 3, I can't remember exactly. It's like super similar to this environment. You have the inverted clouds, you're above the clouds, you have all this volcanic rock around you, almost no vegetation. It's really pretty cool. The other note I have is, like, this is, if you've been to the Grand Canyon and you've hiked down to the river, very similar to that, where the crowds are pretty heavy at the top, but as you get down further and further, it's going to be less and less people, just because people don't want to keep going. So the longer you hike, typically the less people you'll see, and also you can backpack down in here too. So I'll have information about that in the full trail guide, which I'll link in the description below, as always. Looking down here, Looks like this is like an old erosion or lava path. Goes all the way back in there. But yeah, the views just do not stop here. It's so pretty. Just about 2 miles in here, and we're really starting to get some cool old lava. Look at this guy. I'm about 6 feet tall, and look at this. There's another one over here. Just really cool. All right, just over 2.5 miles in, we kind of came from up there, up there, up there, and then way up there to start. Remember, as you're hiking down into this, it's gonna be, you're gonna cruise because it's all downhill. It's pretty sandy, so it's like fast walking or jogging or whatever you're doing, but you do have to regain all that elevation. So far, we've lost about 1,500 feet, so obviously you're gonna have to gain that on the way out. The weather down here is a bit cooler and windier, but honestly, it makes us feel right at home. Almost down to the base here. Trail is just gonna work its way down, and you might be able to see some people like working their way out there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think we're gonna work our way up to this point just to get some different views. We've been kind of reading a bit about the national park here over the years, and apparently the red tape has just increased year over year over year. So there's a lot of things you used to be able to do here and you can't anymore. You can turn around on the sliding sands trail here at any point. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to hike to the bottom to get to the good views. But we were kind of planning on a longer day, so we're just gonna keep trucking, and hopefully our legs don't die on us and we become dead bodies on the way out of the crater. It's a wild goose that lives only on the volcano here. It's really beautiful. Its face is like 5 different colors of red. Pretty. Okay, so we just finished up the sliding sands trail here, and as I mentioned a little bit ago, we're gonna keep going to this next high point up here. So we basically reached the trail junction and then took a left. We are literally hiking through the lava fields at this point, and it's really cool to be down in here. Back up that way is where we came from and where we're gonna have to exit, since we don't have a car to pick us up on this side. Approaching our final climb here, and hopefully we'll have some really good views up at the top. Again, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do anything in life, but if you're doing the sliding sands trail, this is not it. I'll put the name of this trail in the video here, but this is definitely bonus just to get some extra views, and the clouds are moving in, so we'll probably have nothing in our situation here. Well, that extra hiking was not worth it. I think this is a little crater here. This is looking off to the other side of the ridge. It looks like there's another little crater where those 2 people are in, but overall we're just in a cloud right now, so that is going to be the end of the road for us. At this point we've hiked just about 5 miles, and remember, we have 5 miles of steep climbing to exit the sliding sands trail here in Haleakala National Park. That's going to wrap up my trail guide here of the sliding sands hike here. If you're new to my channel, I do virtual trail guides here in Maui, based in Colorado, and much more. So I'll link some of the other hikes I've done in Maui in the description below. As always, for a full hike trail guide about the Sliding Sands hike here in Maui, you can go ahead and check the links in the description below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.